23.
There was-
So that's what even moved it to the September date, if I'm.
There was some
right.
design deficiencies that the engineer
Which
did
caused,
not put in
which
the
caused
contract.
the rebid, and then MDOT delayed by another 2 weeks, so I mean, timing, it just,
Well,
It happened.
let me add to that a little bit too. I mean, I took to council, I explained to council when this job was bid, because it was supposed to be finished before school started. I brought this project to council and I explained to them that we were deficient, the engineering was deficient on some quantities, and that we would probably have to pay for those additional than what the bid was, and you approved that amount. And I signed the contract and sent it to MDOT, and a week or two later, they just sent me one line, an email says, DOT has rejected the bid. They didn't give me an explanation, they didn't ask me about it, or nothing. I sent them the signed contract, saying that we would pay for the additional amounts. It was approved by council, and they canceled the contract without any discussion. And then, after they awarded it late, I wanted to get it bid at the first letting, and they didn't even bid it in the first letting. And then they delayed approving the contract after our pre-con meeting for 2.5 weeks. You know, I mean, they're very tough to deal with sometimes. And then when snow comes, and they sit down and say, well, what is your plan? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is my plan? You know, I mean, it's been frustrating for everybody.
Absolutely, there was a chain of events. I even remember the mayor discussing, you actually called Mr. Williams over there and said, which side would you like us to do first, knowing that we were probably going to go into the school year now, and it was their decision that said, hey, if you can't do this side and stuff. So, I think there was a chain of events, but I think it's important that we let everybody know, okay, this is what's happening. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy that both lanes will be open until spring when the work can be done.
And just to give you a little bit more information, when they started, I was getting a lot of phone calls in my office explaining, the contractor's up here, he milled it, now he's gone, he's not here. Well, what happened was they did a lot of the concrete repairs on the base, and that concrete had to have time to cure. What we do is we take beams, what they call concrete beams, and they take them to a lab and break them to see when you're allowed to get back on there. So they broke a beam, and it was approved to go ahead and continue on the 4th. And then we got some heavy rain where the contractor come back there, and I think like a Thursday and a Friday, we had 2 nice days that the contractor could have went out there, but then after that, it snowed the following week, that Monday or Tuesday. So, I mean, it was just like a chain of events that was really beyond our control, We're doing our best to get, they have clear direction. I just got an email or a text while I was sitting there waiting that said that it's projected. The engineers sent them and said this is expected to be open and fit the base down by 23rd. Hopefully we hit that mark. It's up to the contractor.
Question, if we're putting down this layer with the winter coming on, you say they're going to be fixing some of the concrete? Or are they done? You're just going to put down this surface now?
No, tomorrow they're coming in and doing a couple more concrete patches.
Okay,
They're not putting the surface down tomorrow, they're doing some more concrete patches for the base.
Correct. And then they're going to put down, for the winter, what are they putting down?
They're putting down the base course.
Base course.
Yes.
Now, with the winter coming on, heavy winter, and us plowing, salt, and everything else, is this going to affect that base
No,
coat?
it does not affect the
So
base.
it won't affect it whatsoever?
No, it will not. On top of that, they're going to put a fabric, then they put a wearing course on top of that. There's still 1.5 inches that has to go on in the spring on top of the base course.
So the plows will be running smooth along there?
Yes, it will. Yep.
Mr. Chairman?
Mayor?
Just in terms of timing, if this is a 4 to 6 week project and we're awarding this at the end of September, early October, if we had to do it all over again, we would do the same thing because we're trying to get these projects done. With Goddard Road right on the follow of this project, what we're trying to do is get Beach Daily done as quick as possible so we can tee up Goddard Road and try to get that done ASAP. What we can't do is have both of those phases of construction going at the same time.
Right.
So, again, the circumstances worked against us, but we would have done it the same way if we had to do it over again, trying to get these projects done.
We requested a June letting for the Goddard Road, so that this to be well completed by the time the Goddard Road project starts. There shouldn't be any issues, because they're going to be coming right back out. As soon as the frost laws are lifted in the spring, they'll be right back out.
On our end, with the ordinance violations and things going on down the whole thing, we've got trash, and, I mean, I'm hearing lots of things happening. You know, they're not getting their mail because of, you know, where it's, and that's not us. But I mean, violations or
We're not writing any
violations,
violations.
you're not writing any.
No, as a matter of fact, if, we're doing everything we can to accommodate them. The rubbish pickup and cleaning and whatever we need to do.
Mr. Chairman, I will say though that we are writing traffic violations.
Well, I was going.
And we will continue to do that because we have people that are making really ridiculous decisions to drive in construction, drive down the wrong way. So, you know, that part, they will continue to do their job.
I was talking about like the trash and.
Well, I've received every call and
I
then
had a
some
car
that you
come
guys
by
probably
me
have
one
called.
day and they pulled them right over and thinking, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Because
just
people over there.
Yeah, the safety issue.
We're hoping the 23rd, but I maybe add a couple days on that, but the engineer, Hennessy, who is not the same one that designed this project, I just want to let you know, they're just inspecting the project. They sent him a text, and we've been going back all day because we're gonna put accelerant in the concrete so they can cure quicker, so they can get on there quicker. And they are sending him that we expect it to be done by the 23rd. Yeah, they say that's plenty enough time to get it down, because the base coat should go quick. Once they get everything prepped, that base coat should be done in a day.
And gentlemen, if I may, Chief and I just talked about the traffic issue. We are not stopping at anyone unless they are 15 miles an hour or more over. We had suspended it completely in that area until we could all get together and talk about it. So they're given a 15-mile-an-hour window.
Thank you.
All right? So if anyone...
I wouldn't say it.
Don't get to 15.
I asked,
Right, we go
I had
45.
I had sent the chief a question about the trucking posting, and it seemed to be confusing. He said it looked like they needed more signs because of the number of trucks moving into certain areas.
I know he looked at it, but I didn't get a response.
Okay, because I've had people asking in reference to a lot of trucks going to an area where it's back to posting. And the chief had mentioned to me that he was going to look at that to increase.
We
the
put
number of
additional
signs.
signs.
I'm sorry, what is the question, Councilman? I don't think I
Yeah,
know.
it was reference trucks going into an area along the Beach Daily corridor. And there's something that, there's a certain area
There's an
there,
area where no trucks
no trucks.
at all are allowed.
Yes.
Let me check on it tomorrow.
I can tell you, I can have an answer for it. The signs are up at the entrance to those areas. We checked them. But we put, at your request, some additional signs in between. They've been installed.
But you know, you got people coming out of subdivision, not maybe, you never know.
But those have been installed.
Okay, good.
Okay, I think Carl did already. Didn't he post something about this? But I mean, can we do an actual?
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to release the information as we know it's available. What we're trying not to do is speculate too much, so, because we didn't know what the weather would be like. Now they're saying, on Thursday it might reach 50, but rain. So, yeah, we can tighten up that communication in the next day or so and, you know, get it
Yeah,
up.
basically just allowing everybody to know that each daily will be open, it won't be completed, and hopefully, use the word hopefully,
Yeah.
by Thanksgiving.
And PD has communicated with the Taylor School District as well.
Okay.
We're just
I
trying to
think he
keep
did,
them.
I think I did see something posted, but I can't remember.
I have a couple things.
Sure, no, that's fine. Okay.
Driving down Ecorse Road last night, we don't have the new lights on Ecorse Road, correct? The new lights, because they look like the old,
The LED,
yeah.
I don't know if they were part of the conversion.
They're not part of it? Well, one whole side was off, a little bit here, and then the rest of them were off. That was between Pardee and Pelham.
Okay.
So just let you know
So
it's
if you
really
stop, there's a, on one of those poles or on the base, there's a number. You can either go to the City of Taylor website or to DTE, they're both integrated together. That's not integrated, what's the word,
Sync.
no.
Series,
What's the,
parallel,
two-way communication? What do they call it? API, yeah, there's an API. That if you put it in iCare, it'll report it directly to DTE.
I have to go to every pole.
No, if you just report one and just tell them that, you know, the whole, you can put a note in there that the entire, like, lane is out, and they'll come out within, I think it's 48 hours and fix it, or at least acknowledge that something has been done.
Councilman, you say E-course, where?
Say that?
You say E-course, on
Yeah,
E-course?
Ecorse between Pardee, like I came off of Pardee and turned, I live off Ecorse, so it was all the way down there. There will be a little stretch of some lights, but not on this side, and then they were off on the other side.
On E-course.
On E-course,
Your
sure.
party, Mr. Mayor, and through the chair, that that is normally something that the Midnight Supervisors would do anyway,
Yeah.
so we'll take care of it.
But I'm just saying, if you stop, there is a, I think it's like a 5, sequence number there, and you just plug it in and it goes directly to DTE.
Okay. The other question I have is, when we do swearing in of officers, I just asked Cindy, she's the one that does it, they usually do it during the daytime, whatever happened, because I think they used to have it at council meetings, didn't they?
We have done some, I think it depends on availability, but
So the next officer who has finished, the training, what do you call it, academy, when will that person be sworn in? I know he has to go tomorrow for psych
We
test.
have a rough date, and this may change, December 2nd for Ron Jones, I suppose you.
That's the swearing in? for the
So
psych-
December 2nd would be the date that I start his orientation with the police department. That should be a Monday. Usually the Wednesday of that week when they start is when we wind up scheduling the swearing in at 1 p.m.-ish. And I'll follow by the human resources. But the December 2nd start date, I don't think it's confirmed yet, 'cause I think he still has to go through a psychiatric interview.
That's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow for sure. They got delayed from last week. So as long as December 2nd is the start date, on the schedule, Wednesday at 1 p.m., the Friday, some people are available, will be when we swear in. So that would be the 5th.
So can we get that information, or can you at least send it to me so that I can pass it
If you
on?
guys tell me that's when you want it now,
I like the recommendation because, we did do it a while ago in the 4 or 5 years, it's been quite a while. We're getting such a turnover. I usually go up and introduce myself to somebody I don't know, but there's a lot of new faces and people that I don't even know anymore. So it does help a little bit when they do get sworn in, and, it gives us an opportunity to
you
put a
guys
name
can
to a
probably tell me
face.
when you want it to happen. And I do the scheduling for the entire FTO program for all of our new hires. I do the scheduling.
Well, 'cause
So we'll have-
I think it would be a good, I definitely like to request that, but I mean, if it's,
what we might be able to do, because what I don't want to do is slow down their start date, trying to accommodate a council meeting.
Sure.
So maybe we could do the official swearing in and then do like a ceremonial swearing in at a following, yeah.